Hello everyone and welcome to Surprise Cuisine. My name is Harper if you did not know, and today I am going to show you how to make my very easy and very simple and of course quite delicious banana bread. So let's begin. So of course the ingredients all written out and measured out will be down below in the description down below, so check it out there. And let's begin by preheating the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now while the oven is preheating, first peel your bananas and then mash them up lightly. Now after that, take out your mixer, pour in your softened butter and of course your sugar and start creaming them together. And then when that is done, remove the mixer, keep the bowl of course, and pour in the beaten eggs and the mashed bananas into the bowl and then mix it up lightly. Pour in your baking soda and the salt, and then when that is done, slowly pour in your all-purpose flour, half a cup or so at a time, slowly folding it in, mixing it up, and then after that just mix everything up lightly until your whole mixture is combined nicely. Now after that, take out your loaf pan and lightly butter it, and this should only take around half a tablespoon or so of butter. It's very simple, it's very easy. You're more or less trying to keep the banana bread from sticking onto the pan, and then after that pour in your banana bread mixture into the pan, whack it down, like, you know, pick it up and then kind of drop it a couple times, move it around side to side, so you're more or less trying to even out the whole loaf. And then finally, when you're done with that and the oven is done preheating it, toss the pan into the oven and let it cook for a full hour. Now when the hour is done, take out the pan and use a knife or a fork or even a toothpick, if people even still use toothpicks for this, and more or less stick it in at the middle of the bread loaf. And if there's nothing on the knife, fork, or toothpick, like for instance uncooked banana bread, then of course you know the bread is done. But keep the bread in the pan and let it cool down for around 10 minutes. And you can de-stick the pan by just putting the knife around the edges. Great idea, but do not try to immediately remove the banana bread. I tried this, it was a huge mistake. I should have actually known better. I've made this before, I should have known better, but I got too excited. I tried to remove it right when it came out of the oven, and the whole thing just kind of ripped apart. You know, a solid, you could say, eighth of the banana bread was left in the pan, and it wasn't really sticking on the bottom of the pan because I had put down the butter. It was really because, you know, the banana bread at this point is very warm, it's very moist, and more importantly, it's insanely delicate. And so if you put just a little bit of pressure on the bread at this point, it'll just come apart immediately. So more or less what you're trying to do is allow banana bread to, you could say, I'm not sure, like cool down, you know, harden a little bit, not really harden, but more or less stabilize itself. And so when you do remove it, it will not just, you know, completely just fall apart in your hands. Now after that, put the banana bread onto a baking rack if you have one. Please have one, but more or less have the banana bread on the baking rack for around 20 minutes or so, and then finally of course just cut it in and serve. This is an insanely simple recipe, as you can probably see. It is kind of long because you have to wait an hour for it to cook, but after that it is very simple, it is very easy, and of course it is delicious. And honestly, it is pretty unhealthy because you're using so much sugar and butter, but if you are somebody, or if you know somebody who does not really like fruits a lot and you want to get them into fruits, this banana bread is an insanely fun gateway meal to get you into bananas and fruits in general. And on top of that, of course, this recipe is a perfect recipe for someone who is getting into baking or just cooking in general, and that's why banana bread is so amazing. But with that being said, that's the end of the video. So of course, if you like this video, just click like. If you want to see more from what, just subscribe. I hope you have an amazing day. I will see you next time, and as usual, goodbye.